Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach and I'm going to continue with doing the fully qualified type names for AutoDestruct. Really what I got to do is clean up these tests here, but you know, has to be done. Kind of a little boring, but let's just get right to it. A lot of this is going to be just changing to raw string literals because of their awesomeness. And then changing these so that the format is correct. Yeah, I was actually just noticing right now that usually I have that thing where the spacing gets all wonky, but this one didn't seem to really care. Oh, that's right, because no. Let me run this again, because that's interesting that it doesn't care about the space like for namespace tests, and there's none there. But if you see me in rocks, I have to constantly like move that over, and it's not doing that now. Okay, whatever. We can live with that. No, you got to come back. Okay. I'm just going to change all these and then run them all at one time. How boring of a video is this to watch somebody change code in their tests? Whoops. Oh no. Oh, you know, I got to be careful with that. I'm forgetting that. These are fully qualified. And so would this be. And this one would change. And this one would change. So would this one. Okay. My God, how many tests do I write? Jason, you write a lot of tests. Now this one actually with the another issue, I have changed this because we are going to be looking at records. But that is not what we're going to be changing right here. Okay? No, don't. No. That's fine. I don't want to change things to constants. That would just be silly. This is, excuse me, this is nowhere near as complicated as it has been for rocks. Rocks' generated code can get very hairy. This is very straightforward. I'm going to do like on the right side that I can see where changes have happened, because that makes it easier to get back to where I've been changing code. Now, did I? Oh, okay, good. I almost thought for a second that it had done a parameterized thing, and I'm like, no, don't do that. All right, test space, global, test space, test, global system, .gwid. And then we want to capture this again because reasons. Okay. And then we do that. God, I hope the other file is nowhere near as big as this with test code. But again, test code is important. It is absolutely important. And yeah, I gotta change that. It can just get really boring. Right now at work, I'm updating an old library that we're not going to be updating in the future, but we want to get it into a state where it is fully considered updated and done. And it's definitely missing a lot of tests. And you could say, well, if we don't care about keeping it updated, then why do that? But I'm like, you never know. You never know when somebody's going to come back and look at it and maybe reuse something, or I don't know. And having tests around things is a good thing. So I've been trying to add in tests while staying cognizant of the fact that we really want this library to kind of just die off. It's one of your classic utilities libraries that I see people create over and over and over again. It's just a grab bag of stuff. And some of it may have value, but some of it is, like there's a couple things in there that are now actually in .NET. So you don't need that anymore. Oh, this is for the inheritance case. I'm like, why do we have two here? And then I was remembering reading all the issues that, yes, we did have a case where we needed to handle inheritance correctly. Okay, I think that's it for here. Let's run the tests on this class and let's see if these all work. 2 failed. What failed? Probably, I would imagine, formatting. Oh, yeah, this is in the same. Right? Test space and then. But this one, test, that should also be in test space. I would imagine it's failing test space. Oh, that's just a type error. Yeah, let's try this again. You're always going to have typing errors. Off by 1 character. All right, now they all pass. Good. So we'll check that in. And let's move on to the instance tests. Wait. Those were what we're doing. Good. This doesn't have as many. I think in this case, this is where an extension method exists somewhere for the deconstruct. Generate where this type does not match. Right, so what do? We end up creating one for test because test doesn't have one. But we do for not a test because reasons. Nope, not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. Let's grab that. Oh, and I figured out that this line here, I think I was watching something saying that's trying to show you, like, I think the raw string literal kind of start. Like if I move that, no, not there. I think if you like start moving stuff over, it's going to tell you that line gets moved over. I think that's what that's for, but I don't want to mess with that right now. And then this needs to be, I know you can't hear it, but there's a really weird noise going on outside right now. It almost sounds like a train. There's a train in the city I live, Shakopee, but that's downtown. I remember where I grew up in Oostburg, Wisconsin, that there was train tracks that went through the town. And again, we didn't live near the town, but close enough. I'd say probably a mile away. And I would remember at night hearing the train go through, even though it was, again, couldn't see it, but you could hear it. It was kind of nice, memories like that. All right, one more. Yep, and this one. Yep, it flips the double quotes around the 3. That was nice. Okay, these are done now. And then I think that should close us out because I think these are the only unit tests. Well, there's integration tests. So yeah, but those should still just work. Well, we should shut down and start up again to see if those work. So tests. Okay, so I'm going to do that. shut down, start up again, and then we will see if everything works, and then this issue should be closed out. Okay, so all the tests ran. Yeah, and I believe the trick is you got to go right here and then do an F12 on that, and that should jump into the, yeah, there you go. And we can see all the globalness is kicking in, so that's good. All right, awesome. I know we get all these squiggles, but whatever, it knows what it is. It's funny because you come down here and it knows exactly what they are, but the tooling still is something to be desired. This should just work. Okay, we do have this working, but there is one test that I do want to do. And we'll do it in an instance test. We want to generate this where a self property exists, okay? And then we should be done. We'll actually put that all the way down to the bottom here. Generate when self property exists. Actually, I should be calling all these methods async. I don't have that in my editor config for this one for some reason. But here's the thing. We want to have a string self. Okay. And what that should do here is it should make this be self2. Okay. And then this should become self. This will be self to self. That's what I think it should do. And it failed. Oh, self1. Okay. Jason. Count. Okay. Count, buddy. Always good to count. Yes, you're going to start with 1, not 2. Off by 1 errors. Okay, that's good. All right, so now I think this thing is truly done and we can move on. So let me do that. Let me do all the work. 5. Add a test for self property. This issue is done. Commit that. And once we know that's done, come on. There. So let's go into manage branches. I'm here. Come on, I said, check out. There we go. Merge that into that. Push this up. And so now we can delete that branch. And we can delete that. Okay. Let's move on to, let's close that issue. And let's move to the records one. Oh, crap. Did I not? Oh, I must have. Okay, cool. Let's do the records should be considered. I'll at least start on it. So, yeah, there's a case where, depending upon what you do with deconstruction, yeah, if you do the record, and I forget if they call this the primary constructor, or positional parameters or whatever, then it automatically creates a deconstruct. But if you do it down here where you put the properties in yourself, then you create an instance of it and you try to deconstruct it, it won't actually do it. Then you have to build your own. So there is a case where even making a record will not have its own deconstruct method. So I think the simplest thing to do is what I'm saying here. So it's for consider records. Let's just do that. Let's close these, get new branch for consider records. Okay. And the easiest thing to do is to just, I think I'm filtering them out. Like if I come here to the generator, I believe, yeah, and I say it's not record declaration syntax. And I'm just going to be able to take that out. But what I want to do here is generate with record. Okay. But what I want to do here is say that. Okay. And then we're going to do that. And we're going to say public string ID get init. Okay. And what this should do is something like this. Okay. Now this should fail right now because it's actually not generating any code. So we just need string ID. Okay. And this will be a class. And we just need this to say ID is equal to self.id. There. Now that's what we expect it should do. But if I run it now, it's going to fail. And then we should also put in a test that says if you have a record that would have a generated deconstruct, you don't do anything. Okay, so this is failing. And it's probably failing because it's saying, yeah, there's 2 but 1. So let's change that. Node is type declarations, syntax node, and we're looking for type declarations, or we no longer need to make that qualification there. Okay. So now let's run this, see what happens. And it passes. Yay. And now let's change this. Not change this, let's make another test that has deconstruct. Okay. So now we're going to say string ID. And now this shouldn't do anything. So we need a case where nothing happens. No diagnostics, just nothing happens. And it passes. That's it. That's all we needed to do. I could put in here what happens when you get a record with a value type record, but it should be a struct, it should be a value type. We're already got a test in there for that. So that's not what we were trying to test here. We just want to make sure that we have a record in place. So we're good. I will commit this. This closes out this issue, and we'll move on to whatever the next one is in the next episode. Thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.